next lightning talk comes to us from Chris Comparato, the CEO of Toast, which is a Boston-based restaurant technology company that is growing its customers and its employees at record rates. Now, many of you all here in Boston might know Chris. He spent time at some of Boston's iconic, high-paced, and fast-growing SaaS companies, including Endeca and Acquia. Toast was declared a unicorn back in 2018, and most recently has been valued at over $2.7 billion. It looks like the company is just getting started, and we are incredibly excited to see what is ahead and what does that mean for Boston. A little fun fact about Chris, his favorite kind of toast is Italian, not surprising. So please join me in welcoming Chris to the stage.
All right, 2 hours before dinner, let's talk restaurants. Is anyone hungry? You guys hungry out there? We're gonna start with an icebreaker, okay? Imagine your favorite restaurant, okay? And I know your wheels are spinning. Maybe it's, or a cafe, it could be a cafe. You're thinking, is it the sticky bun at Flower Bakery? Is it the crudo at Bar Mezzana? So I know this is audience participation, so I'm gonna pick on a few people, but imagine your favorite restaurants. Where's Michael? Michael Skok. Michael, your favorite restaurant? Uni. Okay, and what makes Uni special? The food makes it special. Okay, great, the food. I know some of you are probably thinking something like South Street Diner, a little comfort food. It's rainy, there's a nor'easter. Let's go to South Street Diner. But often at Toast, we think about restaurants and our customers as artists. They're artists creating magnificent pieces of work through food. Whether it's the best cup of coffee, this is Gregory's Coffee down in New York City, or the best taco, La Victoria Taqueria up in Beverly, Mass. We think of our customers as innovators, creators, and artists. And it's a fantastic industry. And beyond the food, they're creating amazing experiences. So the word hospitality jumps out at you when you think about the ambiance, the service, the design, the music, right? Really tremendous experiences. And how much do we love this industry, right? It's a special, special industry. But like Charles Dickens wrote in The Tale of Two Cities, it was the best of times and it was the worst of times. So now imagine that you run this restaurant. So maybe you run Uni, or you run La Victoria Taqueria, or you run Flower Bakery. What are we up against? 5% profit margin, right? We're all entrepreneurs. Who in this room is going to start and run a business and go after 5% profit margin? Let's go kill it. In SaaS, we talk about 80 points gross margin on our revenue stream. 73% turnover. So imagine you're running a business. 3 out of 4 employees are going to leave you within the next year. These are industry statistics for the US. 3 out of 4 employees. 17%, that's your failure rate, your chance of failure in the first year. So you're starting this business, I'm going after 5% profit margin. I want to hopefully hold on to 1 out of 4 employees. 1 out of 5 chances I'm going to fail, and then yet it's 1 in 12 US jobs. Restaurants drive our small business economy, but yet if you look at wages, wages are growing incrementally, but cost of living is outstripping wages, right? This is really, really difficult, but yet we're so passionate about food and the restaurant industry. So this drives our why. So at Toast, we aim to solve this problem and these problems. Technology has held back restaurants from thriving in the future. So this comes to our purpose and mission. Our mission is to empower this awesome community to delight their guests, do what they love. Maybe they want to spend more time in the kitchen. Maybe they want to spend more time with guests. And then thrive, like be a trusted technology partner that guides them through these waters to run a fantastic business. So to many of our restaurants, we look like the commerce platform. 800,000 restaurants across the US, and they're processing orders. So how do we turn tables faster? How do we create a more efficient commerce experience? To other customers, we look like their payments platform, seamlessly processing payments. Or to us, the ability to easily split a check. Or if you're the restaurant owner-operator, maybe you want to winterize your patio and secure capital through Toast. To the employees, 15 million employees across the US in the restaurant industry, you're going to start to get paid through Toast. Maybe you're going to have same-day pay. Maybe you're going to have better benefits. Maybe you'll have better health care. So impacting the workforce management of the restaurant. And then lastly, to all of us that are guests, 33 million diners, 33 million unique diners interfaced with Toast last month. So for the guests, how does the restaurant take advantage of this rich data and enable you to attract and retain and engage consumers at scale through products like CRM? So this is our story. So why did I tell this story? A lot of times people ask me, how have you scaled Toast? How did you scale this? And my first reaction is it's kind of like this kitchen. It's a blur. It's like literally a blur. But I think that would be a pretty boring lightning talk to get up here and say it was just all a blur and it was all a dream. But it's like that kitchen. But I thought I would boil it down to 3 or 4 things that I can share today. So first, define and double down on your why. I can't tell you how many companies I speak to or entrepreneurs I talk to where they explain their what and their how, but really, truly double down on your why. Ask why 5 times. Why are you building this company? For what purpose? Is it to solve a massive problem? Is it to change the planet? Is it to change an industry like we're doing? So number 1, really double down on your mission. And I'd encourage you to ask why 5 times. Number 2, tell that story in a simple way that your teams, your customers, your stakeholders could repeat. Often at Toast, I'm the chief repeating officer because I almost start every meeting coming back to our mission. And whether it's a partner meeting, a customer meeting, an employee meeting, I am just repeating this left and right. Okay, invest heavily in your culture, in your team. Culture versus strategy. Culture wins, okay? I've been through this a few times. Culture wins. And if you've read this book, The Culture Code by Daniel Coyle, Daniel studied the best teams in the world, sports teams, companies, the government, and he boiled it down to 3 things. Number 1, build an environment that's a safe environment for your employees to come into. Build a safe environment, a diverse environment where people have a sense of belonging. On top of that, build an environment that's vulnerable, an environment where feedback is a gift. Feedback's not criticism, but feedback is truly a gift. And then the third thing is build this shared sense of purpose and align on that North Star. And when you do those 3 things, you will outperform your competition by 7 times. 7x, you will outperform your competition when you do those 3 things. So at Toast, we double down on the team. Danny Meyer, who's the pioneer in hospitality, does this within restaurants. Danny says in his book, Setting the Table, invest in your team, and that will transcend to your guests, your customers, your partners, and your shareholders. So we amplify that methodology internal to Toast. So invest in your team, and it's going to pay dividends. And the biggest stakeholder is it's going to pay dividends to your customers. So we are obsessed with customer success. So when we invest in our team and we wire that team into the customer feedback, it allows us to innovate. And it allows us to be dialed into what the customer is looking for. Often we say, treat our customers as though they're guests in our restaurant with much attention to detail, okay? How's our product doing? How's our service doing? How's our support doing? And dialing in your team to be obsessed with customer success. And then fourthly, when your team's rocking and rolling and your customers are rocking and rolling, you could spend time on the 99% of your product roadmap and features that are expected, but I'd encourage you to think about the 1% where you're thinking big, okay? These are the 1% ideas that will give you 10x return over the long haul. So thinking ahead and thinking big. So are drones gonna deliver pizza? Maybe. You know, are you gonna walk into a restaurant like Uni and it's gonna identify Michael Skok right out of the gate, and it's gonna know that Michael likes red wine? So think big when it comes to ideas. Some of them will fail, but not your near-term roadmap, your long-term roadmap. And I'd argue that when you do these things extremely well, you could start to change an entire industry, and we're doing that one restaurant at a time. Thank you.